Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to our devotional series for Easter at Calvin, Better Story, Better God. You might have noticed behind us, we have some candles burning. And you saw in Mr. Matthew's devotional yesterday that he put out the violet candle at the end. Violet at this part in the Christian calendar, as the walk into the cross happens at this time of year, the violet is supposed to represent Lent, which is a season of repentance, sorrow for sin, recognizing the brokenness in our lives and in the world. And the purple color is supposed to capture that. But today, you might have a look. The candle's pink today. The violet, that deep violet, has become lighter. So this candle represents what they call in the Christian calendar Laetare Sunday, or Rejoicing Sunday. It's supposed to be a time where there is a lightening of the load from that violet Lent carrying the heavy burdens. It's supposed to be a window of joy and anticipation associated with that candle. But if the world is as Mr. Matthews described it, what cause for rejoice? How is there even a hint of anticipation or a hint of joy? And that's what we're going to focus on today. Why are we in this pink candle and not the purple? And this is part of why Christians maintain that Easter gives us a better story and a better God than the ones that the world gives us. So let's first go to the text that sets up this time of year for Christians. It's in Matthew 26. It's what we call the Last Supper. It's what we call the Last Supper. And he says this: when Jesus had finished saying all these things he was teaching, he said to his disciples, "As you know, the Passover is 2 days away, and the Son of Man will be handed over to be crucified." Then the chief priests and the elders of the people assembled in the palace of the high priest, whose name was Caiaphas, and they schemed to arrest Jesus and secretly kill him. But not during the festival, they said, or there may be a riot among the people. Did you catch the phrase right at the start? The Passover is 2 days away. That's the first moment in this gospel where we catch a view of the Passover and then a view of the cross. So why does that matter? Well, because at this dinner, Jesus is going to say something remarkable. We know it as the Last Supper. For Jesus and his friends, it was the Passover festival. What Jesus' dad and his dad before him and his grandfather, what all Jewish people had done throughout history. They remembered this time, this history, that God had come and called on a people for himself. That people ended up in slavery in Egypt, and God heard their cries and comes and he rescues them. And they'd rehearsed this story at the Passover. And Jesus starts telling that story. They're doing the Passover dinner. And then right at the moment when they go to talk about the sacrificial lamb, because God had got them to put the lamb's blood over the door so that when he came to rescue them from Egypt, the angel of death would not touch his people, right? Jesus gets to that bit. And instead of talking about the lamb whose blood was spilled for the people, he holds up a cup and he goes, "This is my blood." And he holds up some bread and goes, "This is my body." And you can imagine the disciples going, "Pretty sure that's the bit where he's supposed to talk about the lamb." And Jesus is going, "That history, that story, that's all been pointing to me. I am the one who is going to rescue you." It was a radical claim. It would have been very hard to understand if you'd been in the room, I think. And why is this a better story? I think two things. People tend to react in two ways to the kind of news that Mr. Matthews gave us yesterday. One is denial. You go, "I'm sorry, you don't know me. I'm not that bad. I'm certainly not as bad as that guy. And I'm slightly offended that you have said these things to me." That is the kind of the denial route, when we deny that we have done anything wrong, that we've got any issues. And the other end of that is despair. When you look at that and you go, "It's too hard. I'm too bad. I'm too far gone. There's no point." The reason why there is pink in the candle today, that little bit of hope, is that the Christian story allows us to both be real with ourselves and look at ourselves and go, "Yeah, I fall short." But then also, it calls us to lift our eyes and look at the cross, that hint of the Passover, that there's a solution coming. One of the readings that the church traditionally does on Laetare Sunday. Now today, we're not heading to Laetare, that's already been in the calendar. But this pink candle, one of the readings that goes with that is from Ephesians, and it says, "Awake, O sleeper, and arise from the dead, and Christ will shine on you. It's also Isaiah. But for you who fear my name, the Son of Righteousness shall rise with healing in its wings. You shall go out leaping like calves from the stall. There is that note of hope. So today, this Sunday, in the Christian story, is supposed to feed us with joy. It's supposed to feed us with hope, and it's supposed to strengthen us. It's supposed to give us the endurance for what is to come for the next few days. But we'll get to that story tomorrow.